Happy International Women's Day to all the ladies listening tonight.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
Hey everyone, welcome back to another EU-tastic episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And we are back with Ewoks Season 1, Episode 2, The Haunted Village.
Oh!
I got the button!
Dude, that's hype. I'm pumped. I literally was like, dude, as you said that, that's dope. How did you get it?
I went on YouTube. I tried Googling it, done, and that didn't do anything. I couldn't find anything. Then I went on YouTube, and I typed it in, and then one of the videos had a link to a free download. So,
okay, can we hear it one more time? I'm so happy.
The best moment of the highlight for tonight.
Yeah, everyone in the chat's like, "Oh, Jeremiah on the buttons, let's go!" Yeah.
All right,
that's pretty dope, dude. It kind of, I'm not gonna say any spoilers, but kind of like that old sound reminded me of like the old Batman sound, which I saw Batman over the weekend. So
how was it? I didn't see it.
You haven't seen it yet? Well, you're busy.
Well, why would you see it? It's DC. You hate DC with a passion.
This is why. The hype is so real.
You were a Twilight fan, weren't you?
Actually, I did see all the Twilights with my youth pastor back in the day. Like when the last one came out, we binged all of them. No, but it has nothing to do with that. I just thought it was like all the ratings are like it's better than even the new Spider-Man. Like everyone's like freaking out about it. No, this is what everyone. I'm not saying it. I don't think it's better than new Spider-Man, but people were saying it, so I was like, all right, I'll go see it. And my brothers and we're like, all right, let's just go see it. We just all went randomly, and it was. I mean, I posted.
Okay, let me ask you this: is it compared to The Dark Knight?
Yeah.
How better or worse? The same level?
It's the Joker in The Dark Knight is just ridiculous. I mean, I don't think anyone can beat that.
Right.
But I think the way that I'm not going to spoil anything, but the way they made this Batman, the character, I thought was really well. And I liked that it wasn't an origin story. I'm so over origin stories. So I don't know. I liked the concept of the Riddler too, actually a lot. And it didn't feel like a normal, it didn't feel like we were watching like the typical remake Batman movie. Like that's not what it felt like at all. I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. It's definitely it's the best DC movie since The Dark Knight, in my opinion.
Okay.
But I also hate DC, so that's not really.
Because you don't even give it a chance. You purposely go into these movies.
I did. I purposely went in. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hate this, and I was kind of mind blown. Like I didn't hate it. Like I want to go see it again. And it's 3 hours, and it's like fastest. It's 3 hours. Well, it's 2 hours and 56 minutes. It's 3 hours.
Really? Is that long?
Yeah, it's long.
Oh.
But it does not feel like it.
Dang.
It literally felt like a 2-hour movie.
Well, when it goes on HBO Max, I'll watch it then.
You don't want to go watch it?
I don't.
That's a lot of time in theater.
Well, it's not that. It's just I don't care.
But did you see Spider-Man in theaters, right?
Of course I saw Spider-Man. MCU, I'm...
Oh, okay. So
Spider-Man is like one of the top superheroes of all time. So it's like, I'm going to see that. You know, I'll see all the big ones. Some of them, like, I didn't see... I did see Shang-Chi opening weekend. Sorry. I was like, I didn't see that opening weekend. I was like, yeah, I did. But...
I was going to say, but... I mean, I don't know. I would recommend Jeremiah seeing it. I want to see it at IMAX because I feel like it would be really intense. Like we just saw it like last minute, so we had like not the best seats. Actually, our seats were fine, but it was a smaller room.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, before we get into the deep dive of Ewoks episode, we got some announcement news,
Some
discussion
news.
stuff. We haven't done news in a lot because we don't really. There's not been a lot of news lately. But first, it's kind of more like a rumor thing. We don't normally talk about rumors usually, but last week, someone in the know supposedly that had some contacts in Quantic Dream, which is the company doing the game Eclipse, which we did a trailer breakdown back in December. And it's the biggest hype game. It's like the trailer was one of the best trailers I've ever seen. But the rumor is that nobody wants to work for that company. And now the rumor is that it's delayed in production and it probably won't come out till 2027 or 2028 when it was originally supposed to come out in 2024. So, and there's also the rumor that they might just cancel the project altogether. So,
I mean, if we're gonna wait till 2028, just cancel it, dude.
like it's like a huge letdown because I got so excited for that.
Well, and it's the High Republic.
High Republic, and this looks insane. And
it looks like it would be sick. That my thing is, okay, in 2028. That's in what, 6 years?
6 years, so 5 or 6 years away. Like this is like the world can change in 5 or 6 years.
The world's not gonna be the thing. I'm just saying, it probably still will be. But dude, my kid will be so old. Like I don't know. That's so long in my mind. Like 6 years is a long time to wait for a video game. And on top of that, like what systems are gonna be relevant? Is like it's gonna be close to like PS6. So like if the game, let's say if the game is in Unreal Engine 5, Unreal Engine 7 might be out by then, and the graphics might not be as good. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, as good. Okay, first of all,
dude, by then we don't know. Like I was listening to a podcast yesterday talking about how the technology of like VR is just growing so quickly that they're thinking in the next 5 years video games are just going to be mostly VR games. And like
suck. I hate that.
Some people, but I mean, I don't know. I think it's coming up quick. So I'm just saying, like especially with games, game industry changes so fast, so rapidly that in 6 years, that's so far in the game industry.
Well,
it's gonna be like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Heart, the newest Kingdom Heart. They had to keep remaking it because the technology kept getting better, and they wanted it to come out with the best technology, so they had to keep remaking the game over and over and over again.
But you gotta understand though that a lot of these games that we play, they do work on them for like 3, 4, 5 years anyway.
Yeah. No, I know, but
like it's gonna be
6 years old.
Whenever they plan on releasing it, it's gonna be graphics wise relevant for that time. They're not using,
I hope,
2021 technology for a game.
They're gonna use 2024 technology if it's like delayed. For me, if these rumors are real, to me it means they haven't literally done anything. They haven't even started the game. They made this cool trailer, and that's about all.
Well, I think they probably like wrote down or came up with like
they wrote down
on a napkin storyline. But I'm sure they probably got a lot of the story ideas and the kind of like the main skeleton of it all. But like obviously, until you start actually getting a team together to make it, it's only in theory. But like, I don't know, it just sucks that we have to wait so long if they do it. And I don't know, but whatever.
It's like, how long did the Last of Us 2 come out? Wasn't that like a couple years?
That was.
It's like a while, right?
That was 5 or 6 years between the games.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, it was like when they had their first launch like announcement trailer or something. It was still like 4 years until the game came out. So like,
yeah,
it's not crazy for these games to take all this long time.
Well,
to
and
come
majority
out,
of all games do get delayed. I mean, you're not wrong about that. Like, I think
Right.
Diablo 4 was supposed to come out this year, and I think it's delayed until next year again. Like, I don't know. Games do get good games get delayed quite a bit, but to say from here it's like 6 years from now, like,
yeah, it kind of sucks.
that's a while. And also, what makes me more mad is that we've got a trailer for a game that's going to come out in 6 years, but we don't have an Obi-Wan trailer yet, and that comes out in 2 months. What the heck, Disney? What are y'all doing? That doesn't make any sense to me.
I think it's easier for them to make a trailer because they can just sit on a computer somewhere. But the other stuff, the shows take are much harder to edit because it's like live action and like all that jazz.
Jerica is in the chat, which if you guys don't know, we do these live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Empire Radio. But Jerica in the chat is saying she's waiting for March 25th. That's when
which is Moon Knight. Is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
That guy. Movie. Oscar. I'm excited for that show. So. But anyways, that's just the little rumor news thing for that. But the next item of news.
Wait. Oh. There's also another rumor news that we didn't even talk about between you and me. But there's rumors that Bad Batch is delayed till like October or November this year.
What is it? What makes that delayed? It just said 2022. That's all we ever heard.
The original, I think people are saying that. I think the original was supposed to be spring of 2022.
I never heard. No, I never heard that.
No. Okay.
No, because that would been less than
someone
a
on
year
YouTube.
Someone
Stupendous
on YouTube. Wave. Come on.
No.
That guy makes stuff up. I don't even.
Not that guy. But someone on YouTube was like made a whole video about it and was like freaking out. But okay, well, good.
But I didn't expect.
Oh no! They originally said summer of 2022. That's what Jericho just said. They said summer of 2022. Well, so yeah,
but waiting an extra couple months, that's fine. Better than 5-6 years. All right, but official news that came out was yesterday or something. Star Wars Celebration tickets will be going on sale next week.
True.
And so they're already doing pre-orders for like merch and stuff, I think, or whatever. So that's exciting. So like, if you had tickets for the one that got canceled, you could keep your tickets or return them. So no one knows how many people returned their tickets and how many tickets are available now.
Yeah.
But
I think it'll be sold out in seconds, probably.
Yeah.
Or minutes.
So,
the only nice thing about them is that it is a like you can't resell tickets, kind of like
because your name is on the tickets or something.
So at least you're not worried about bots like grabbing them. But you don't plan to go, right, Jeremiah?
No.
Even if we were invited, you want to go probably.
I don't know. If we got a media pass, which would be free admission, maybe. Yeah. But like, I still have to fly out to California, get a hotel.
We would.
I don't know. This sounds expensive.
Don't you have family?
I have an aunt and uncle in Anaheim. Yes.
Yes,
but they wouldn't. They wouldn't let us stay with them. Probably. They probably let me stay, not you.
Well, you can stay then. Then you don't have to pay. They probably don't want me to stay because I would probably I don't think I would be able to go without bringing my wife. But anyways, with that, we should make like a call for action and have our fans tweet at them and blow them up to try to get us a free media pass. That'd be dope.
Well, we gotta apply. I can't just.
Well, we'll still apply, but you guys should definitely send this right down on their social to try to get us to get a free media pass. That'd be dope because we would want to go.
Did you hear about the the con in Tennessee.
Yes.
Ashley Eckstein will be there.
Yes.
And Tanner said he's going to try and go.
ICC Con. I really want to go really bad. And we
told
did apply
Tanner,
for a media pass over the weekend.
You did?
We did. Yes, we did.
Oh, well, thanks for telling me.
You're welcome.
When
but
is
I
it?
really want to go. It's like next month.
Is it next month? Holy smokes.
Or no. It's the last week of April going into May 1st.
Well, I am busy I know I have plans that last weekend, that April 30th through the 2nd. So,
yeah.
Sorry, can't go.
But I really want to go because Ashley's going. The voice of Anakin's going. The voice
Matt
of
Lanner.
Obi-Wan is going.
But Tanner said he's going to try and go. And I told him he can be our personal representative.
Dude, for real, Ashley.
And so I said, oh, tell Ashley I say hey. So he says he's going to do that.
Yeah, we should. If Tanner does go, now that I know Tanner might go, though, I might try to hook up with him and see if we can go together or something.
That'd be fun. Vlog it up. Give Ashley a shout out. Have her.
Yeah, dude. I think a lot. Palpatine's gonna be there.
Who does the voice of Palpatine?
No, the actor of Palpatine is gonna be there.
Oh, Ian McDermott.
Mm-hmm. And C-3PO is gonna be there. Like, there's so many. Like, the list is ridiculous. It's like all Star Wars mostly, but
does that mean they're not going to be at Star Wars Celebration?
No, because isn't it way later?
The Star Wars Celebration is last weekend in May. It's Memorial Weekend, isn't it?
Oh, I'm not sure.
It is. It's
Chat,
May.
help us out. What did you look
May
up?
27th through 31st or something like that.
No, they're probably going there, and then they're gonna go to another con the weekend before, and then
All right, cool.
I don't know. I want to go to both, but I don't know. We're supposed to find out on the 15th if we get past the ICC con. So I'll let you know, Jeremiah. We'll see.
Well, I can't go either way, so.
Well, yeah. Cool.
But yes, so that's all the news we have. But quick announcement, because today the first week of my collab with Cinemakery dropped on Instagram and YouTube.
Yes, it did.
We made Mustafarian lava buns.
Yes, you did. How were they?
They're okay, but
okay.
how about this? They look way cooler than they tasted. How about that? But yes, so go check out our Instagram and YouTube to see those cool pictures. Because
do you guys use the same recipe?
We did use the same recipe.
Oh, that's cool. So who came up with it? You or her?
Well,
or is it a secret? Are you not supposed to?
Well, it's from the Star Wars.
Oh, it's on the book. Okay, never mind.
So
neither.
So the 3 weeks are based on things from the Star Wars cookbook, but you didn't have to use the recipe if you didn't want to. Like, you could make it. So we used the book as the theme, so the Mustafarian lava buns was a thing, but you could make it however you wanted, and then the next 2 weeks are the same thing. So, so I think no, it's not technically a competition.
I was gonna say, isn't it versus? Like, are we supposed to?
It's not. You can pick whatever, but like she has like 5,000 followers on Instagram, and so if we voted like I posted it this morning at 8:30, and I think we have like 24 likes or something like that, and she posted it like the same pictures like within an hour she had like over 100 likes on hers. So like she has a lot more followers. But if we were to vote, I would say that I have the edge this week just because of my plating skills was way cooler.
Yeah, Will said Jeremiah sweeps.
So there's that. Next week, I think she might have the edge, but the third week, it's going to be a toss-up. So
why aren't you guys doing like a poll in Instagram story and having people vote?
I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that.
It's super easy. Have her do it.
I was struggling trying to post the photos. Because this is the first time I've ever posted images on.
I know, I was surprised. And I thought you were going to text me, hey, can you post these photos?
So the problem was that okay, I messed up with my pictures because I didn't think to put it in a format for Instagram, like the 1x1 or whatever. So
Oh.
like my pictures are not in the proper format, so I had to like put like bars on top and bottom and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should say before I did that. So my pictures I edited as close as I could to a square for the 1x1. I ended up doing like a 5x4 ratio as close as I could get because I didn't want to cut off all my pictures. But then like I made like a thumbnail kind of for it. So the thumbnail was 1x1, and I didn't realize that you couldn't have two different formats for multiple pictures. So I go to post it this morning, and my pictures get cut off, and then I start panicking. So I had to like re-edit them on Canva really quick to like
before
make this, before I could post them, because I'm like, this is terrible. So
someone in the chat was saying Empire Rito needs a social media manager. Yeah, so if any of you guys are really good with social media, want to apply, hit us up on our Discord.
Hire Stephanie.
Well, she's been editing a lot of my videos that I have backed up. But I'm saying if any of you guys are actually really good at social media and you guys want to apply and work for free and help out your favorite podcast,
we can send you a bag of coffee. How about that?
True. Multiple bags of coffee. Yeah, that's about it. But
yeah, so
feel free to apply on our Discord. Hit Jeremiah up.
Sydney and I are having a lot of fun doing this collab. So next week is going to be exciting, and then the last week will be real exciting. So stay tuned on this. So you got to follow us.
Also, yeah, we should figure out how you can do a voting poll or something, because I think that would be fun. And if you win, we should just switch accounts so you can have all her followers.
No, that's not gonna work. That's not gonna happen.
I'm just kidding. But
yes,
yeah, that's cool. I'm excited. It looks sweet. The video was pretty fun. Yeah. So make sure you guys, if you guys haven't checked out that video, go to YouTube. Go check out Empire Radio Podcast on YouTube if you guys want to watch that video of Jeremiah whooping some butt. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Well, that's all we have for news and announcements and stuff like that. So let's jump into Ewoks, Season 1, Episode 2, The Haunted Village.
I knew you were going to do that.
All right. So this morning, I texted Andrew, and I was like, hey, we're doing Ewoks Season 1, Episode 2 if you want to join us. He said something. He's like, well, let me know when you do the next Droids episode, maybe. But
we'll do it next week.
But yes, so what'd you think? Your overall thoughts of this episode? Because, we really loved the first episode back last summer or whatever it was.
I mean, I've seen this episode in the last month like 25 times.
What?
Yeah, because Miles just keeps watching all of Ewoks on repeat. I've seen the whole show.
What?
Like all the seasons, yeah. Dude, I'm telling you, Miles loves the show. But yes, I recently rewatched it. I watched it yesterday with him again. I was gonna shoot Andrew a video a little bit, but didn't. But yeah, I love this show. I think this. I mean, for me, especially right now, this show has a special place in my heart because it's the first show that my kid is probably gonna remember. So for me, or the first show for sure that I'm gonna remember him watching. So I don't know. This show is really good for me, and it's fun. It's just mindless, super easy, and the whole concept of this episode was so funny and random that it was just a fun episode. Like, there's nothing bad about it. It had really nothing to do with the main villain of the episode. Like,
well, kind of, because the whole threat that they were thwarting off the whole episode was,
yeah, but it was just like, what are the name of those guys again? I forget.
Which guys?
The guys that the thumbnail is.
They look like the Grinch.
The Grinch characters, yeah, I forget.
Was it
the bamboo butts?
Mantigrew?
Yeah, Mantigrews.
Yeah.
They're just like the slaps. Like, they're literally the version of the hyena in like Lion King.
Right.
to the Ewoks, and it's funny. And literally, my son's cousin, which is my niece, says that Miles looks like
What?
he looks like Wicked at some parts because he's so chunky like Wicked.
Oh.
So yeah. I don't know, I liked it. It was a fun episode. Nothing.
So I remember when we watched the first episode, like you and I really liked it.
Well, compared to what we saw in Droids the week before that.
Right. Now, this episode I was a little like, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't like
we should watch Droids and then cover this episode.
But yeah, it was all right. It was very, very 80s cartoon, very like low age group. Like it's definitely for little kids, like probably like second grade and under, like that. But
for sure, like I don't even know if my 6-month-old should be watching this show, but at the same time, it's so harmless. Like I definitely feel more comfortable him watching this show than watching like YouTube Kids and like having it just play. And then some of like, I forget the name of the show on YouTube, but there's this one YouTube show that's for babies, and it literally has given babies seizures. And so now like a bunch of doctors are saying don't watch this show. So it's like I don't want to do that. I would rather him just watch Ewoks, them fight and paint each other so you can't see them. Like this, yeah. Well, yes, I'll just have him do that.
Right. All right. Well, we might as well just jump into scene by scene. Now, it's a very simple episode, straightforward, but I tried to like write a lot of notes. But like I was like, this is gonna go really quick. So good thing we did opening news, and we have a ton of voicemails, so we can go quick with the breakdown. But so it started out with the music that I remember Andrew absolutely hated, just the theme song or whatever. And so I was thinking of Andrew.
Did you like it? Did you like it again?
I was like, I don't know why he hates it so much.
Dude, it's
like
so fun.
It's some guy got paid some money to write an intro to a little kid song. It doesn't have to be like
and it's cute, and like my son jumps to it. I feel like if I film Miles jumping to it, maybe Andrew won't hate it.
Maybe
I should try it. I'll let you guys know.
Film it and put him on our Instagram.
Yes, I will, and then tag Andrew in it, and then I'll let you guys know what he says because it's adorable. I mean, it's awesome.
But yes, so then after that intro music, Wicket and his female companion, I can't remember her name, but
I forget her name now. It's so weird.
Chat, help us out. But so they're just going through the woods, and then like this giant dragon pterodactyl thing comes and like attacks them and tries to take them away. So he grabs the girl, and Wicket's like, "I'll get you," and like climbs up the street and like jumps off the branch like 100 feet. I'm like, "Dang, Wicket!" Like
Jeremiah's like, "I would never do that for a girl."
I would never do that. Right? I couldn't do that even for a girl if I wanted to. Like he jumped like off this branch, like into the sky.
Nika.
And so, but so then he catches her and then like was able to like break her loose and they fall. But like, we learn because they go back to the hut village in the trees to like say what happened. But then, like, one of the huts is like glowing green or whatever, and like I don't know. The leaders are like, there's like this dreidel thing that's like projecting a vision of like what's happening. It's like really weird. Like I understand how this happened, but like they have this dreidel that can like tell the future or tell, I don't know. And so they know
can do a lot of things, man.
Right. So like this dragon was like the ancient enemy of the Ewoks or something like that, used by their ancient enemies. And like it's supposed to like steal this fruit that the Ewoks eat, which is like their main source of food. And so if it steals all this fruit, then they starve to death. And so then they're like, we got to stop this dragon when it comes back. And
because it's like done that before, I think.
Yeah, like it was used by their ancient enemies. Like, what was it?
It's a witch.
The witch? Because it was like
Yeah.
we learned about this witch that sent out the dragon.
And something,
like,
I don't remember what happened, but it was like she sent it out and then she hasn't sent it out, and now she's decided to send it out again. And it was like
Right.
a big ordeal.
Right. And so their solution to this is the most crazy, like, concept. They have this magic soap. And it's not even really, I guess it is magic, but like,
It's pretty magic.
This bar of soap can make you invisible because this root from this plant can be used to like make you invisible. And so their plan is, let's just use the soap on the plants to make the plants invisible. And then when the dragon comes back, he won't see him.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I guess that's what we're doing. Okay.
I mean, it's pretty smart. Also, Jeremiah, if I had that soap, I would totally go to work with like one hand for fun.
Why would you
Like,
do that?
why not? That'd be so cool. Or just like go with like out of face, just my eyeballs.
That's weird.
It'd be so fun. I think it would be funny. I don't know.
If that existed in this world, it would be all chaos. Like,
Dude, it'd just be little kids doing it all the time.
no, are you kidding me?
Annoying.
So much crime would happen.
Oh, true.
Are you kidding me?
Crime. But you would have. See, this is the thing. Is like you would always. This was what didn't make sense to me. My one complaint. In order to make it so they can't see you fully, you have to fully cover yourself with this soap.
Right.
Now, would you just cover the top of your eyelids, or do you have to get it in your eyeballs? Because as soon as you open your eyes, they'd be able to see you because you're not going to wash your eyes with soap.
I think you gotta get it on your eyeballs.
That sounds like would hurt, right? Or no? Maybe it
I
doesn't
don't know.
hurt you.
Maybe it's like the Johnson & Johnson baby soap that like.
And also, when the guys like get it and they go into the tree, for some reason you can see their faces, and they come out the tree, they're fully see through. I thought it was funny.
I don't know. But we did learn something interesting. I don't know if we knew this before, but the little Ewoks are called walklings.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that. Did you know that?
I did when I watched this.
So an Ewok is just a grown walk. I don't know. It's add E.
Yeah.
Walklings. So not Ewoklings. Like, I don't know why they don't just say that, but that's an interesting fun fact that could maybe be used as a.
I wonder if it's
trivia.
Canon.
It's not canon. Maybe it is. I don't know.
No, we don't know. Could be canon. Yeah.
But so that's their plan, to use the soap to make the plants invisible. But while the kids are out, you know, why were they out in like they're just in the water like playing, or what were they doing?
Oh no, Wicked was supposed to bathe his siblings.
Oh, that's right. So they go to the lake or pond or swamp to bathe. And
probably not a swamp, but
I don't know. But like we get introduced to these new species of characters. They look like the Grinch, like the green, furry, tall, gangly things. It's like the Grinch from the cartoon and from the live action. Like, it's literally exactly that. And they see the kids. And are they using the invisible soap in the scene, right?
No, they weren't. They were just using soap.
No, because they go back to the king, and he's like, "We need to take the soap, right?" Oh no, because they were stinky.
No,
and
they had flies. They have a bad fly problem.
right, and then they didn't have good soap, or they didn't have any soap, so they wanted to steal the soap from the Ewoks, and so the soap that they saw was the normal soap.
Correct.
And so the King Garnish, I think his name was like, go back to the swamp or the lake and steal the soap.
Go back to the Ewok hut and get their, or go back to the Ewoks and get their soap, so we get rid of these flies. Because I think it's probably midsummer. There's like when they show these creatures, you guys, there's flies like all over them. It's really gross looking, and they're probably just irritated that there's flies all in them. And the Ewoks' hair is lustrous and nice and clean, and they don't have fly problems. So.
Right. And so they sneak into the village and they find a bar of soap. But the soap is the magic soap, coincidentally. And so they steal the soap, not knowing that it was
magical.
So then they bring it back to their own village or tribe or whatever. And there's this whole scene where everyone's in the swamp bathing, which is like, what kind of kid show is this? And they start using this soap, and they start turning invisible, and they're freaking out. And then, and by the way, we didn't mention this, but when you go invisible, you just gotta use clean water, and it washes off.
Yeah, you just wash each other. So they're like in this like water, like waist up, washing themselves, and they're freaking out because their body parts are disappearing. They can't see it, and the guy's like, "Your arm is gone," and then the girl's like, "Your face is gone," and then one of them like pushes the other one, and he falls over into the water, and then he comes out, and he's normal.
Yeah,
and then they realize that they just have to get wet, and they'll be normal again. So.
Yes. And so then when they realize that they can become invisible, okay, we're going to go scare the Ewok village and like hunt them and blah, blah, blah.
We're going to haunt them, yes.
Yes, because it's the haunted village. So.
No, but it's like, as a parent, I thought this was really funny and good that they didn't like use this as a ploy or a tool to steal more things from the Ewoks. They decided to scare the Ewoks.
Right.
Which I like that, because they already stole once. Don't keep stealing. And I think I'll give it a pass. Like, they stole soap. They weren't stealing anything else. They just wanted soap. So this is also like a lesson for kids to always clean yourself. That's what this whole episode's about in a nutshell, I feel like. But
right.
Yeah.
And so on their way to the village, they run into the kids, like Wicket and everyone, and they're invisible at this point, and then they scare the kids.
Or they're like laughing and talking.
Well, they're talking, but like the kids get scared, and they don't know what. So they run back to the village, but the Grinches get to the village first, and they start just like scaring Ewoks, carrying stuff away,
messing up. They kept like messing up their village, and then they started talking like they were the spirit of the trees. And you guys have been living in our trees for so long, and you're not wanted anymore. So the spirit of the trees is telling you guys that you have to leave. And so like they were trying to scare the Ewoks to leave the village essentially and like leave.
Right. But then the kids return and tell them like what they heard and saw, and then they saw like foot tracks because like they like stepped in something and there's like footprints, and it's like, oh, these are the tracks of these. They call them the Duloc. I guess that's their species. I have it in my notes. Duloc. And so they have like their footprints, and like, oh, these are just the things, and they realize that it's just they're using the soap. And so,
because the shaman or whatever, I would assume he's like a shaman,
spiritual leader, whatever.
Yeah, he was like, oh, one of my last bar of soap is missing.
Right.
Oh, we forgot it. This the kids were out there painting the trees
Oh,
with
the fruit plants. Yeah.
the that's what they're doing out there, and they Wicked spilled his last bucket of the soap, and so he didn't have soap. So he went back to the village. That's what happened. He went back to the village to go get more soap from the shaman, and he came across this scene happening of them destroying their village and like breaking stuff. And then they put two and two together, and then Wicked's also like, "Oh shoot, we're out of soap."
Right. And so after they figure out what's all going on, what the Dulocks are doing and stuff, we get scene change to the witch with the dragon, and it's just more just a little quick, like the witch doing her evil planning or whatever. And so there's that, and then the plan then by the Ewoks, because they figured out what happened, was the shaman guy or whatever. He's like, get as many bugs as you can, collect as many bugs, big ones, small ones, just get as many bugs as you can. And so they go to the Duloc camp, and they want to like uh, take the soap back so that they can, so they don't clean themselves. And then but Wicket, he gets caught while he's sneaking into the camp, because like why did they send him again? It's because he's a small.
No, I think it's also because he spilt the last part of the soap, so it's his responsibility to get the other bar.
No, I thought there was something practical about it. Like,
you think it's because he's small and cute and cuddly?
Something I can't remember. But Wicket, he gets caught. So,
either way, well, he's a star of the show, so he has to do it.
Right, and so what happens is then there's a chase. So Wicket's being chased, and everyone's getting chased back and forth because the soap is getting like switched back and forth. Who has it, catches it, and then they get stolen back. And so they catch Wicket, who had the soap, the magic soap, finally, and then he switches it somehow. He kind of switches it so that.
Oh, yeah, they hang him upside down to get the magic soap back from him.
But he gives them like regular soap. He gives
them the different soap,
and they think it's the same thing. But then Wicket drops the magic soap into a puddle at the same time, or right after, and so
he puts it in his mouth. Oh yeah, that's what he did to hide it.
And so so the Dulocs, they think they have the correct magic soap.
Correct.
But they go back to the bath time.
Well, they just start bathing themselves.
Right. But then when they're out in the swampy water, they release the bugs.
Correct.
And the bugs just consume these Grinch people, like cover them and chase them away.
Yeah, because the soap that the shaman made wasn't. It's a different soap that made the bugs go to them.
Right.
So it did the opposite effect, essentially.
Right. So then there's that. That's kind of like the main like conflict of the episode. Mm-hmm. But at this point, the dragon has already been sent out and is returning to the village. And they realize that they don't have any more magic soap to finish covering all the plants. Mm-hmm. But Wicket remembered he dropped it in a puddle. And he's like, we can use this soapy water to use it. So he takes the soapy water, puts it in like a pouch, and pokes some holes in it, and then like swings over the rest of the plants and like
covers it all at once.
Sprinkles water on all of them and makes the fruit disappear. So then when the dragon comes, he can't see any fruit. So then it just goes back to the witch. Mm-hmm. And then everyone's so happy, and because of what Wicket did, he's like, Wicket, you we're so brave and so smart with what you did. We're establishing a new holiday in your honor. Like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
Today is a new holiday.
Yep. And that was the episode.
No, you forgot two
What
things.
did I forget?
One thing, Wicked's girl kisses him on the cheek. And then Wicked runs and jumps in the bush and grabs the fruit and starts eating it and says, "Oh yes, the fruit tastes just as good,
even though it's invisible." Wow.
And then all of the Ewoks start eating the fruit. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Also, I think I gotta pay more attention when Miles watches the show. But I think at a certain point, the girl character is no longer like a love interest. It's all of a sudden becomes his sister.
Huh?
Yeah. I think in season 2, that girl's no longer like his girlfriend, it's his sister.
Well, maybe we're just assuming that it's a love interest. I don't know. Hey, Luke and Leia kissed.
Oh, like... true. I mean, it's Star Wars.
So it's not out of Star Wars realm of something like that happening. So
that's fair.
But you know what goes really good with some Ewok fruit?
I thought you were gonna say soap.
Not soap. Because when you're eating something, you also have to have them to drink too.
Especially something like fruity or even probably those buns that you made over
those Mustafarian lava buns.
Mm-hmm.
You can always enjoy something like that with a nice cup of coffee or tea.
True.
From Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. So let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Hey everyone, Andrew here. I'm pleased to tell you that the sponsor of today's episode is Wesley Andrews Coffee and Tea. If you don't know anything about Wesley Andrews, you definitely should. They're an award-winning coffee roaster and shop in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and they make fantastic coffee. The awesome thing is that whether you live in the Twin Cities or not, you can get their coffee beans delivered straight to your door by ordering them online. They even have a subscription service that ensures you never run out of amazing coffee. If you've been looking for some new coffee to try or a way to elevate your normal coffee routine, now's your chance. Head over to wesleyandrews.cc, use the code EMPIRERADIO, that's with a capital E and a capital R with no space at checkout, to get 15% off your first purchase of any bags of coffee or a coffee subscription. I can't think of a better deal. Get 15% off some great coffee, support a small business, and support your favorite Star Wars podcast. In the words of Emperor Palpatine, do it.
Do it. All right. Well, that's the end of the breakdown of the episode. So we don't know when we're going to do another episode of Ewoks. It just says it's been a while. I was like, hey, we could do that because we did, 2 weeks of deleted scenes. I was like, do we want to do deleted scenes again right away? Like, do we want to keep, we're going to give a little variety.
Well, and episode 3 deleted scenes is a lot.
There's a lot. And there's other things. There's other stuff, special features and stuff for movies too. So like there's other like mini documentaries on there and stuff. So there's there's a cool one on the Revenge of the Sith one. That's like I might think we should do sometime. But
I mean, I'm down. But yeah.
But I feel like a lot of these things are like from when those at the same time that those movies came out, like. So it's not like newly made things. So I wonder, like, if in these documentaries, like, if they have anything like outdated, like it's an old documentary, like because there's like a documentary from like 2004 on there, like a full length documentary. I'm like, I don't know, that's like a long time ago. 2004, like that's 18 years ago. A documentary, like Star Wars is so much more different now than it was back then. Like I wonder, like, what the documentary would have to say, like, would we be like, well, that's not true anymore about Star Wars, like that's not how things are done.
Which I think would be good content. I think that's cool.
It could be. And that documentary came out before Revenge of the Sith, so
Oh
that
yeah.
too.
Well, and also just like to remember what happened back then, and like the I always love watching those kind of documentaries when they go back and like watching the Lord of the Rings documentaries on like how they created like Mordor, or like how they created like the certain elves and like the hobbits, and like the way they like did all like the fake effects on them, and like the gluing of the feet. I always find that stuff fascinating. So if it's like movie documentaries like that about like the aliens and stuff like that, I love that stuff. So I'm definitely down to break down some of that stuff and like let you guys know our thoughts on that. So if you guys like that stuff, I mean, just let us know in Discord, or comment down below on this video on YouTube or whatever, and we can break down those documentary stuff.
Yeah, we're always open for suggestions for
True.
content, because we're kind of in this period where we're just waiting for Star Wars content to come out. So it's like trying to figure out what to do.
I
So
just really want this Obi-Wan show to come out. But speaking of, I mean, I think before right now everyone's hyped and listening to this episode and waiting for these voicemails that we're about to do. But before that, we're gonna do a quick announcement. I think we should do this now before we get into the voicemail so that people can actually hear this. So this coming up Sunday, which is Jeremiah,
the 13th,
the 13th,
Sunday the 13th,
13th at 7 p.m. we are gonna do our live stream. So if you guys, for this upcoming Sunday, we are gonna do the podcast episode live then instead of the Tuesday night. That's just so that my wife has something going on and I have to watch the little boy, and I won't be able to put him to sleep and do the episode and blah blah blah. So this schedule stuff came up, so we're gonna push it up a little bit. So if you guys turn in your voicemails, you gotta do it quick. You don't have as much time. And I wanted to get that in before we even go over the voicemails so that you guys, it's fresh in your mind. So send in your voicemails this week. What's that, 2 days early? And because we know there's a lot of you last minute. My phone has been buzzing all day with all these
a lot of
voicemails.
voicemails today.
And and that's today of the 8th on a Tuesday. So make sure you send them in by the 13th next week. And like, we need the streak obviously to keep going. It's been over a year and we don't want to kill it. So Jerica, I'm looking at you in the chat right now, and Will. So make sure you're
we don't have to worry about Will.
That's fair.
He'll definitely send something in. But
make sure it's in on Sunday.
Well, I guess it's time for us to transition over then.
It's voicemail time.
All right. So our first voicemail is from someone we haven't heard for in a long time, but an old friend, Simon, has sent in a voicemail. So let's listen to what he has to say.
Hey guys, it's me, Simon, and I know it's been a while since I've been here interacting with you guys, but I am back once again. I've just been like really busy with school and stuff, but now I am back, and hopefully I get to send more voice messages more often, and hopefully I can be pretty active. But so I am back. Simon is back. But I do have a question, because there is a rumor going around that Palpatine is going to be returning in the Obi-Wan series. So do you guys think he's going to be in it? And if he is going to be in it, do you guys think that he's going to play a significant role? Or do you guys think maybe he'll have a bit of dialogue and like a few interactions, or maybe even just one interaction with Obi-Wan Kenobi? Maybe both. Maybe he'll be a significant role and interact with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know. It's just like, I've just been wondering, because Palpatine is one of my favorite characters. But yeah, what do you guys think? Thanks.
All right,
Simon,
thanks, Simon.
it's been a minute.
Yeah, and Simon, your
I
voice is a little.
I was gonna say that. I'm like, you sound like you grew up a little bit, Simon.
A little lower voice. An octave or two down.
So shout out to you, Simon. Growing up is hard, but you're doing it. It sounds like you're doing it good, and keep up with the school. That's important.
Do they still give like A's and B's and stuff in school, or they do like different stuff these
probably
days?
like give like a badge of honor. Like you
Get,
came
like,
to school 4 days in a row. Here you go.
But yes, thank you, Simon. So that is a good question. I did hear that rumor that
Oh,
Palpatine.
I haven't heard this rumor, so I'm excited.
It was just like a brief thing that happened a couple weeks ago. Like people are thinking like, oh, Ian McDermott is going to be making a cameo.
He's going on these contours apparently. He's going
so
to ICC and
I think it's definitely plausible because if Vader's going to be out there and he's going to have interaction with Kenobi, obviously Palpatine's going to know. So like,
true.
I think it would be very minimal. I think it would be like, one episode. He's just going to be in there, and it's going to be kind of like when Palpatine tells Vader, like, the son of Anakin Skywalker is alive. I guess it's going to be something like that, where it's just like a quick thing. I think it'll be cool. I want it. More Palpatine, the better. Like, not going to complain.
Well, and I think so. In Boba Fett, those cameo hypes were so real, right?
Yeah.
Like when we saw Luke, when we even saw R2D2, I was freaking out. Imagine the cameo hype if all of a sudden Vader turns around and good old Palp is sitting there. Like, dude, I would get chills. Like, that'd be so dope. I don't think. To Simon's question, do you think Palpatine's going to interact with Obi-Wan? I don't think so. I think it's going to be like maybe a hologram of like Vader talking to Palpatine, or maybe we'll see Palpatine and Vader interact, but I don't think we're ever going to see Obi-Wan interact with Palpatine. I think that'd be really crazy if we did.
That would be cool because the line that everyone's worried about is because from A New Hope, he's like, the last time we met, I was but the learner and you were the master, but now I'm the master or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like, everyone assumed before that was when Vader was Anakin, and Anakin was
correct.
Was whatever. Was still a Padawan or not a master yet. But if that's referring to him being a learner, as in like still learning things of the dark side and being a Sith, maybe we'll get a scene where Palpatine is training Vader.
Oh, that would be sick.
Like a Palpatine Vader like saber duel fight.
Well, I was gonna say more like Palpatine on Vader's back as Vader.
God. No, stop. I think it would be cool if Vader is being trained by Palpatine somehow. Like, that would be cool.
Yes, that would be sick. Like,
I want to see
Palpatine does the spinning lightsaber trick with both his lightsabers.
No, master, I'm not gonna do that.
if I want to see Palpatine train him with lightsabers, I want to see Palpatine with both his lightsabers.
That'd be cool.
Because that's a thing. If you guys didn't know, Palpatine does dual wield, and he just got his one knocked off or something. I forget how they explained it, but wasn't it Palpatine?
It was when he faced Mace Windu. It gets thrown off the balcony or off to go through the window, and that's how he loses that one. But he still has his other one, which he uses to fight Yoda. Yep. So I'm sure he gets the second one back, or if he doesn't, he just make a new one. Like, but
yeah. Either way, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we saw him, or if we do, it'd be like a cameo of him. But with that, Jeremiah, you think we could see Thrawn in this show?
No, what does that have to do with anything?
I just want to know what you thought your thing.
I don't know. I don't know enough about Thrawn. Like, I need to read the books.
Isn't this like during the Rebels' time?
No, this is 10 years after Episode 3, so 9 years before A New Hope, which would be then 4 years before Season 1 of Rebels. And 1 year after Solo.
I'm trying to think when.
Like, we could see Maul. I think there's a better chance we'll see Maul than we would see.
Okay, so
Thrawn.
Maul. But how would we? I'm so.
I don't know. I don't know how any of this is gonna happen.
That's fair.
But I know. Okay, we can talk about this forever. And so whenever that trailer drops, we'll talk about it. But
I can't wait. And Andrew
I think
most likely will be back.
So before, when we had our first kind of like teaser for Obi-Wan, like the mini 30-second trailer with some concept art, like my theory was that Inquisitors sense that there's a Force being on Tatooine, and to protect Luke, Obi-Wan leaves Tatooine to draw them away from Tatooine. That's what my original theory was. But I've been hearing a lot lately because the rumor, or it's not a rumor, I think it's true that Bail Organa, what's his last name, Smits or whatever, Jason Smits? John Smits? Whatever the actor.
I forgot.
He's revising his character as Bail Organa. So I think...
R.I.P. to the original Bail Organa.
from the deleted scenes. But I think what could happen is Leia is in trouble and Obi-Wan leaves to protect Leia. That's what I think. So if we're going to get Bail, we're going to get we're going to get child Leia, who's like 10 years old.
Yes, please.
So I think that would be a crazy twist where the show is actually about protecting Leia and not protecting Luke. I think that would be cool.
Simon just jumped in the chat. Simon, we literally just wrapped it up.
You just finished your voicemail, so
yes. In hindsight, I think the chances of Palpatine being in this episode or in this show is pretty high.
Yep. All right. That was a good question, Simon. Thanks.
Yes.
All right. Next question. Also from someone we haven't heard from in a while through voicemails, but we've been talking to him a little bit tonight. Tan.
Oh, the base man.
So Tanner,
he went back to work. He was slacking. That's why he was in the chat earlier. But...
And this is gonna be a fun one. So let's see what Tanner has to say.
What's up, boys? It's Tanner. Back from my long hiatus, as you put it. I have a question, and it goes a little something like this.
Hit it.
What do you think happened to Watto after the episode 2? Well, we don't see him much, and I want to know. Does he get some Nubians? Does he see little Annie? I don't know. I want to know what happens to him. What do you think happens? That's all I got. Have fun with that one.
Thanks for the voicemail, Tanner. That was a great impression of Watto.
That is a really good impression of Watto.
So the question is, what happened to Watto after Attack of the Clones, episode 2? And so I think he's just lives on Tatooine forever and then dies on Tatooine. I think we are definitely going to see him in the Kenobi series.
Ooh,
and
that would be cool.
So I heard this question last week because I have to listen to the voicemails and make sure they're PG. And obviously, I didn't worry about Tanner. But
I was like, "What?" Tanner?
I listened to it anyway, and I kind of looked it up. And apparently, after episode 3, that in canon, when Obi-Wan is on Tatooine, he goes to Watto and buys a humidifier to take in water, and it doesn't work. So Watto sold Obi-Wan Kenobi a janky humidifier. That's apparently in canon.
So you think we'll get him?
I think we'll get Watto at some point. If it's just for 30 seconds, like,
hey man,
something,
I'm all for cameos. Like fan service is.
But in Attack of the Clones, he was looking pretty old. So
he looked like he's seen better days.
So I don't know how long
I was gonna say, I think if anything happened to him, he somehow owed the Hutts money and Jabba killed him off.
No,
that would be my end.
I think he's gonna be still doing his thing on Tatooine, and who knows what he's doing. But it's definitely an interesting question and someone I would love to see. So Palpatine and Watto in the Kenobi series. Can't get any better than that. Unless we get Dax, or what is Dex? Like, once again, I can't remember. Can never remember his name. Maybe we can get him.
Obi-Wan.
He works at the in the cantina. he got a new job there.
Dude, what if we just see Obi-Wan go back
to Coruscant? That would be so terribly hard.
Gosh, that'd be so cool though.
All right. Well, our next voicemail. Well, we had two from this individual, from Lucy. So here's first one from Lucy.
Hi everyone, Lucy here. First, I have a clarification about my last voicemail if you were worried. I was using the term back from the dead to say that it had been a long time since I sent in the one before that, and I did not actually die. Here's a funny story that happened to me at Galaxy's Edge on the ride Rise of the Resistance. This First Order officer was organizing us prisoners in groups, and when he turned around, I locked eyes with him and had a full-on stare down for almost 30 seconds. I finally waved at him and said hi, and he just told me no and walked away. My family and I still laugh when we think back to it. It was just a really fun and immersive experience. Now, I know Palpatine is a frequent listener to this podcast and now owns Empire Radio as of last episode, but I was taken prisoner by the First Order completely by accident. Not part of the Resistance at all. Oh, hang on. Sorry, what'd you say, General Organa? I'm kind of recording this Oh. Yeah. Like I said, not part of the Resistance, and may the Force be with you. Don't tell anyone.
All right, Lucy.
All right, Lucy.
A little double life over there somehow or something, but that was definitely a funny story from your experience at Galaxy's Edge. And I assume, I don't know for sure, that she went to the one in California since she's on that side of the country, not Florida. Seems like most people when they go to Galaxy's Edge, it's always Florida.
Because it's better.
Why is it? Is it the same? Is it like...
Actually, I don't know if it's better. I think it's because it's like... I think it's a little bigger, just a little bit. But I also feel like I would assume because it's Florida, it's cheaper. And I think recently a lot more people have been going to Florida because Disneyland was closed like forever.
Well, there's that, and also Florida doesn't care about like masks and stuff.
That's what I mean.
So like, there's probably more
to
restrictions in California than.
The second time I went, or the third time I went to Galaxy's Edge was literally in the heart of COVID, like before vaccine was even a thing, and they were still wide open. So yeah,
right. All right. So this next one is from Lucy, and we're a little bit. I'm a little worried about her. So let's take a listen.
Hi everyone. All right, I don't have a lot of time right now for various reasons. Yes, it's Lucy, the Lucy who definitely supports the First Order and not the Resistance, because why would I support the Resistance? It's not like we blew up a First Order base and they're coming back to attack our base now or anything. But anyways, I have a semi-urgent question. If you were in a purely hypothetical situation where the First Order was attacking your base because you attacked their base first, what would you do? Run away as soon as possible? Steal Kylo Ren's lightsaber? Surrender? Tell the First Order all the Resistance secrets if they let you go? Wait for a Jedi to conveniently show up and save you? Again, this is a purely hypothetical situation. But could you answer soon? Very, very soon? Nothing's going on or anything. We're all fine here. Not that there's anyone besides me, but still answer quickly. Long live the Empire! No, General Organa, I'm just saying that for the voice. Yeah, I'll put the phone down and start talking now. Anywho, may the Force be with you, and me, and don't tell Palpatine.
First of all, hopefully we don't get demonetized for that copyright music in the background, but
we probably will for our intros anyways. Like, let's be real. That's whatever.
So we're worried about you, Lucy, because apparently
you're in a gunfight.
Something's going on in the background over there, and
also
your question what?
Her quality was so amazing, like
the production quality. This is like
I don't know,
an audiobook, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, Lucy, I don't know what like equipment you have where you are, but that sounded amazing. And like, if you don't have a Star Wars podcast,
well, she has that with the Star Wars Club. We're still looking to get an update for that. So
that's true.
We need an update, Lucy, about your Star Wars Club that you started. Yeah, in high school, I think. So
I don't remember, but yeah, you should definitely update us on that. But your quality, whatever you did was sound amazing. So keep up the good work. I love that. I enjoyed every bit of that.
Right.
Like, it was so dope. So keep it up.
Yes. And so her
But
question.
what was her question?
The question was, hypothetically, if you attacked a first order base and they're come back to attack your base, what would you do? So if you're the resistance being attacked by the first order, how would you deal with that situation?
Well, didn't she give us some answers?
It's like run, steal Kylo Ren's lightsaber, tell all the secrets of the resistance, and hopefully they show you mercy, stuff like that. And she says she needs that answer right away. So I would say just put your head down and admit defeat, because long live the Empire through the First Order, right? Drew?
I see it as two different entities. I do not support the First
Well,
Order.
Palpatine is still leading the First Order.
Well,
because she's like knows that Palpatine listens to the Empire radio and is in control, and
yes, that's true. I guess it depends on what timeline we're living in, but I don't.
Well, it's
like
the First Order, so that's
I don't like
it's
to live in that
obviously-
timeline. But I would just try. Hopefully, Palpatine's not listening, but I would just steal Kylo Ren lightsaber. I think it would be fun, and he would get really mad and break another helmet. I think it would be fun. So do that.
All right.
That's what I would do.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned the hope Palpatine's not listening, because we have 2 voicemails from Emperor Palpatine tonight.
Oh, of course we do. Here we go.
So, Lucy, I don't know if Palpatine has any words for you, but let's see what he has to say tonight.
Hello, Empire Radio. This is Emperor Palpatine. I was just calling to say that I was listening to your podcast this morning while I was drinking my cup of morning tea, and I thought it was phenomenal. You are doing an exceptional job promoting the glory of the Empire. Grand Moff Tarkin is a huge fan as well. Mos Amida still needs some convincing, but I think that I can get him there. And I just know that Darth Vader listens to your podcast in his free time, even if you won't admit it. So you are doing great work. The Empire loves you. Keep up the good work. Sheev out.
All
I
right.
hate that you called yourself Sheev, but thanks for the voicemail.
Why do you say that?
You know how much I hate that.
Well, that's
name
actually kind of funny, because
here we
his
go.
second voicemail
Here it
addresses that
comes.
exact accusation.
Oh,
So
well.
let's listen to our second one from
Let's
Emperor
go, Palps.
Palpatine.
Hello again, this is Emperor Palpatine once more. I'm a little bit offended that you were making fun of my first name. Sheev is a great name, especially on Naboo. There are many legends of Sheevs rising up and taking the throne and conquering the Gungans, and frankly, I am upset that you would disrespect my culture in such a way.
My bad.
However, because of your phenomenal work for the Empire, I will let it pass.
Thank you.
I don't want to hear you making fun of my name ever again. Sheev out.
We could not have planned that.
I was
better.
gonna say,
We did not
this-
plan that.
I
You
have
didn't
not- I do
know
not
what the
listen to these.
voicemails are ahead of time, and
that's so funny.
It's funny because Palpatine, he had the ability to have premonitions of the future.
True. That he
And
does.
so he sent this voicemail in, knowing that shots were going to be fired at him before we played it. And I know in a previous episode, like last summer, you made those same comments that you think it's a terrible name. But hey, that wasn't me. I think Sheev is a great name. Like
the chat. cheese Palpatine.
Oh, you don't want to make Palpatine angry about that.
Chill. But no, like you guys always know this. I don't listen to any of these voicemails. I see when they come in, but I never listen to any of them. So that's really funny that Palpatine, you're on top of your thing. I apologize, but that name still
I like the
sucks,
name.
but
I think you could definitely middle name for a kid, Sheev. Like Miles Sheev Shoemaker. That's a good name.
his middle name is Sterling, and
I know his middle name. I'm just saying you could use it as a middle name, first name for a non Naboo person. Like it wouldn't make sense because we don't want to dishonor the culture of Naboo by
is that really his
appropriating
culture name?
He's from Naboo.
I know, but isn't it? So it's Palpatine Sheev or Sheev Palpatine?
Sheev first name, Sheev Palpatine.
Oh,
you didn't know that?
No, I just thought that was like another like evil name he had. I didn't think it was actually like.
No, his name is Sheev Palpatine.
Oh, I always just called him Palps.
What do you think Palpatine was his first name or last name?
That's a good question.
You didn't know?
I thought Palpatine was his first name.
Oh, God.
I don't know. Because I know that she was added on like way later. Like that wasn't like it was added on literally like I think maybe episode 3, but like it was added on way later.
It was like that was definitely. I'm sure it was a non-canon name before, or I should say, in the books before episode 1 came out, because we know it. I think Sheev would have been the name in episode 1.
Well, in the in that what's that book called?
Plagueis.
Yeah, it's not in that. They don't call him that.
Wow.
So that's how I know it was added on later.
But when did that book come out, though?
Well, I mean, it's canonized before 1. I don't think it can.
Yeah, but did that book come out before or after the sequel trilogy? Or the prequel trilogy?
Yeah, but that's always already his name. Wouldn't that?
When did the book come out?
In the book?
It would be at the front of the book. Copyright, what year? Come on, Drew. You got this. Everyone's waiting.
It's coming.
Copyright
2012.
So this book was already published well after Sheev was.
Yeah, but wouldn't they add it in there then?
What do you mean? Who's they?
Like, wouldn't they say that in this book? If
Why
it's
would
already canonized?
Why would it matter? His name is already Sheev in the movies before that book came out.
Did they call him Sheev in episode 1?
Yeah, I believe so.
I don't think so. I think they only called him Sheev in episode 3.
That's not true. All right,
chat, help us
out.
out.
Go on Disney Plus, go to the credits, and see what name is there. Does it just say Senator Palpatine, or is it Sheev Palpatine? Look that up for it.
Look at how worn down. Listeners, you're not gonna see it, but this book is torn. Jeremiah, this is a good one. You should read this.
That's what they say.
You would like this one. If you want to borrow it, let me know. Because this book, and guess what? It's not even canon. And I enjoy this book a lot, and I think you would too, because
Yep. But anyway, Palpatine, I love your name. Cool name. Keep it up. Maybe I'll get Sheev on across my shoulder blades or something.
Oh, okay, that'd be dope. Just so long as they don't spell it like cheese, I think you'd be good.
All right. Well, let's get going on our next voicemail from Dean, who sent one in last week, and we didn't get his first one because it didn't go through, and we were kind of.
Yes.
So he sent a clarification. So let's listen to Dean once again.
Hey guys, Dean again from Westfield, Indiana. I wanted to call, first of all, and just thank you guys so much for playing my voicemail. I don't know why, but I felt really special. It was just really cool. But I did want to clarify one thing. Into the Dark was actually really good. That was a great audiobook. It was a great story. It gives you a lot of more character development from those characters that you start to see in the other books, which I like a lot more. But Out of the Shadows was the one that I was not a fan of. The book itself was really good. Again, it gives you a lot more insight to Chancey Yarrow and Nan. So that was really cool. But again, like the audiobook was just absolutely poopy, unfortunately. So yeah, I'd recommend just buying it and reading it. It still is a really good book. Definitely not hating on it. But thanks again. Love the podcast. May the force be with you guys.
All right. So
That's
that
what's
was
up.
clarification. So Into the Dark was a good audiobook. And then was it Out of the Shadows or whatever you said was
Either out or in.
or something. That
Some
one was the one that
Shadows.
was the bad
Bad
audiobook.
audiobook.
So thank you for the clarification, Dean. So if you ever listen to audiobooks out there, fans, now
Also,
you know.
I think I mentioned this last week, but my favorite Star Wars book is no longer on Audible for some reason.
You did mention that, yes.
So, but I still have my copy on Audible. But yeah, for some reason, Lost Star is no longer on Audible, which I don't.
R.I.P. Lost Stars.
I guess I gotta make sure I keep.
They're truly lost now because you can't
Oh.
find them on.
Also, I just
Audible.
gotta make sure I keep that copy.
All right.
You know what, Jeremiah? You know how you're like, I don't want to read that book? I have the mangas, and they're a lot smaller. You could read those. And it
No,
has
thanks.
pictures
I don't know how to read a manga. Sorry.
backwards. It's not that hard.
Backwards, and then I don't know which square to look at next, and
Just like a normal book, except it's just backwards.
kind of seems complicated.
Oh,
All right. Thank you, Dean. All right. Oh, once again, we got a voicemail from our favorite Gungan leader.
Ooh. Who apparently loves the Empire.
Me Sanosa being happy with mean big boss. Isa don't knowing what Isa saying. Isa da big bad bombad. Isa not my boss. Misa gonna be his big boss. Misa listening to Usa on the clock. But Misa like. And Misa not gonna stop. Misa can fire Misa, but the Gungans, these are gonna be big mad. He's and Deeson in big bomb bad trouble.
All right. So
I was
think it was-
going to say your first was pretty weak, but then I could
So, for those of you who didn't listen to his previous voicemail, Boss Nass's boss was mad at Boss Nass for listening to Empire Radio while on the clock. So, but Boss Nass is saying that he's going to become his boss's boss or something like that, so that it's okay. So, yes, continue listening to Empire Radio while you're on the clock.
for
And
everyone.
for everyone.
That advice
Even-
goes out to you.
Even in real life, if you're listening to Empire Radio while working, it's a very common thing. I know a lot of our fans say they just listen to us while they're at work. So, unfortunately, some jobs you can't do that because you need
Cutting meat.
to talk to people. So, yes. All right. So, thank you for that, Boss Nass. We always love hearing from you. All right. Next one from Will.
Ooh.
Hey, Empire Radio. Will here. I hope you're doing well today. And, my question stems off of something I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, that Hold My Tea asked when Andrew was back about the whole which bands would Star Wars characters listen to. But my question is, what regular job would Star Wars characters have?
Ooh.
Like, for example, like, I don't know, meat department, something like that. Yeah. Hopefully this stems a long conversation.
All right, thanks, Will. That's a great question. Definitely wish Andrew was here to help us along because he would have good ideas. But various characters, what real world jobs?
Should we pick like 3 characters or 3 to 5 characters, and then just based off of that, what jobs they would work?
How about this? I'll just do some quick fire names, and it's the first job that you think of. We'll go with. We'll each give our own.
Let's go.
Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi.
He would work for BetterHelp.com.
No, I picture him like a manager at like a FedEx store. I don't know. I just feel
better than that.
Yeah, it would have to be definitely like a customer service.
I feel like he'd be like a therapist
because he'd be like
knowledge.
No, because he would have to say hello there. Like he has to do customer service for that.
True. Just from that one line. Dang it.
Yep. All right. Who else?
Okay, I got one. Hondo.
I think he'd still be doing the same thing. He'd be a pirate. That's a real life job, right?
Well, dang, that's it. Well,
he'd be like he'd like launder money or something like that.
Oh, he would be a con artist.
He'd have like a business that looks like a real business, but he uses it to launder money. I can picture him doing that.
Yeah, or I could picture him being the main guy in like Catch Me As You Can, like that character where he's just scamming a bunch of people.
Right.
But I feel like in real life that makes his character so much worse as a person. But yeah,
I don't know. Okay, how about Kylo Ren, Ben Solo? What would he?
Well, he would need the therapy for sure. Wait, we're doing Ben or Kylo? They're 2 different people.
They're just one and the same. However you want to answer it.
Well, if it's Kylo, he needs therapy. Or he would be actually a good like gym teacher because he would have so much like crazy built up rage. He'd be like, "You got to keep going!" Like
throw with the dodgeballs at people at 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, like so. Kylo would be a good like gym teacher.
Gym teacher, yeah. No, we don't know enough about Ben Solo, so it'd be hard to say. Like
someone in the chat said that Kylo would be a TikTok star. I don't think so.
No, that would be Ray. Ray would be a TikTok
star.
I could definitely see that. Who else could we talk about?
Yeah, gym teacher. Everyone's saying gym teacher.
How about Rex?
Rex? Oh, that's a good question.
He'd be like, I don't know. I feel like he could be like in the military. Like he'd be just like, that's a regular job, right?
Yeah, he would just be a sergeant.
Captain in
like
the army.
No,
a drill sergeant.
He'd be like he would be like a drill sergeant in the Navy SEALs or something, like super intense.
Right.
You got to give him full.
How about Leia Organa?
She would be like the first woman president.
Possibly.
Like she would be something like in the state we'd have to vote for her because you know what I mean. Like she's a very political figure. I feel like.
Let's see. Do a couple more. How about?
Okay, what about
Admiral Ackbar?
Admiral.
What would he do? He would
work at a sushi restaurant.
Sushi restaurant? That's not how that works.
Come right up.
Oh gosh.
No, I don't know. I feel like he would. I don't know. Probably like something political too. Like he's a very He's a kind of person that everyone looks up to you. The chat saying,
I feel like he could be like a chef in like a submarine in the military.
Jerica said in the chat, he'd be a security alarm. It's a trap. All exclamation marks.
Or no, he builds traps for hunting.
Ooh.
And the first one he makes, his family's like, "What did you make?" It's a trap.
It's a trap. Oh yeah, he'd be a trapper. He would work the trap lines.
Yep.
Up in Canada. The chat
Yoda.
saying Jar Jar.
Jar Jar, he would be. I think he'd be one of those people that went from job to job because he get fired a lot.
Well, the chat said he would be a janitor.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Clumsy janitor.
Knocks the mop bucket over all the time.
Yeah.
Who would Yoda be?
Yoda would be one of those guys that run a cult and everyone like follows him. Like one of those like gurus.
He'd be one of those like college professors that's been at a college for like 50 years, or in his case, like 400 years.
Now, would Han just become Indiana Jones, or is that just too?
No, Han would be he'd be a drug smuggler or something.
Damn.
He'd
work for the cartel.
He'd work for the cartel or something.
And he had a dog.
Always getting by just barely. So.
Okay, what about Thrawn? And it can't be military based because that's just too easy.
He'd be like a businessman. Like he'd be like Jeff Bezos.
Really, yeah, I was gonna say
Jeff Bezos or
Elon Musk or something like that.
Something like that, or
I mean
Bill
Elon,
Gates.
dude. You'd be like the modern day.
Elon, he's more like an innovative person. I don't think of Thrawn as an innovative,
True, but he's so smart though. Like he thinks like those people though.
I think Thrawn would play a longer game in business. He knows okay, I want to make deals with this country, this company, and this, and working them together. So in 30 years, this was going to happen. Like he could definitely.
Jerica in the chat said that Thrawn would be an artist.
Oh, that's true. He likes art, so
true.
He could be an art major and like
all right,
art history major.
Last one. Maul.
Well, Maul always fails at everything he does.
Dang.
So like that's just
He'd be our president. Any of our presidents, I should say.
So it's something that he would like. It'd be a career that like he's always constantly trying to achieve at, but it always comes up short. Like he never gets his big break. So like
an actor.
I was thinking. I want to say a comedian. It's like a struggling comedian.
Oh, that's fair.
But so we'll go with something in showbiz
something
where he's like always
you
trying.
have to keep doing it, but you'll never get it.
Yeah.
Sad.
So he auditions for American Idol and then like gets rejected. All right, that's good. All right. Thanks, Will. That was a great question. So we got 2 now from Brady. So let's listen to number 1.
Hey, Empire Radio. This is Zarnotopia's Hypnar III calling in. I'm just curious about one thing for you. What is your favorite fictional species of all time? Now, I know mine personally are, of course, the Gungans. Of course, they're just so spectacular. So, follow up to that question as well. Speaking of Gungans, who is your favorite Gungan? That's my question this week. Have an awesome rest of your day.
All right, thanks. So he has 2 questions. Our favorite fictional species. Now, he didn't specify Star Wars.
That's true. He didn't. I was going to ask him that.
Could do that.
He's in the chat, so.
And then he did ask our favorite Gungan. So, favorite fictional species.
Should we just do the Gungan and see if he will answer? He's in the chat right now.
I don't know. Gungan. So favorite Gungan.
Oh, he said he did not specify Star Wars. Okay, good.
All right. So for the Gungan, so there's the episode where the Gungans capture Grievous, and one of them dies.
Oh, sad. That's
gets like stabbed in the back or something. I can't remember. Like when he died, that Gungan. That's my favorite. I forget his name, but he was a cool guy in that story arc in Clone Wars. So there's that one. Drew, who's your favorite?
Probably the man himself, Boss Nass, because he calls in. He calls in there. I mean, he calls in like weekly. So if I don't pick him, I feel like he'd call in next week and get mad at us. So it's either him or you know, the Dark Lord himself, Jar Jar. But we'll go with Boss Nass.
So favorite fictional species. That's hard because
it's really hard.
Like, outside of Star Wars, I'm trying to think of like fictional species that are like, because like the MCU, like we know some alien species, but like not a lot. But then like other things, like other media, like I don't know.
Why don't you pick out of Star Wars and one in Star Wars? How about that?
In Star Wars, probably. I don't know. That's hard to say. I've never really thought about my favorite species. Zabrix are pretty cool. Togrutas are cool. Twi'leks are cool. Chiss are cool. Thrawn is cool. Wookiees are cool. It's kind of hard to say.
You're gonna name all of them?
Name all of them because they're all have their place, and so I think Twi'leks. I'll go with a Twi'lek maybe as my favorite Star Wars species. Outside of Star Wars, I don't know. Like, trying to think what other like fictional universes there are.
Would the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles count as a species, or are they just turtles? Oh, well, okay. So outside of Star Wars, it'd be the turtles. And then within Star Wars, dude, it's hard, dude. There's so many good alien species. But
I don't know.
I would say I love Thrawn species. Frick. All right, I'm just gonna go with it. The Hutts.
What?
Why not?
Oh,
they're cool. They're slugs. They're different.
That was a letdown.
Oh, I think they get hated on too much. I'm showing them love.
All right. I'm gonna. I was thinking like Power Rangers. Like what species? Like there's
the those
the putties.
The putties, yes. I was
the
gonna
putties.
say the muds.
The muds. Putties. But then there's Goldar. He was pretty cool.
Goldar was really cool. He was like a gargoyle kind of.
Like a golden gargoyle.
Which gargoyles are dope too, frick. Now I'll go with the turtles, but yeah, Goldar is really cool. Or even those birds from the Slime movie or whatever, the ooze. Those
vaguely remember.
How do you not remember that movie? That was like one of the first.
I remember the movie. I don't remember. I remember there was being feathers.
They did.
I remember. I vaguely remember that. Yeah, I don't know. I have to think about.
You don't like Lord of the Rings? Okay, from Harry Potter, what's your favorite? I can tell you mine.
Harry Potter, they're mostly just people, so like that's hard to.
There's a lot of creatures and stuff.
I don't know.
You don't like Dobby?
I was thinking him. He's pretty cool.
Dobby.
It was sad.
I love Dobby
when he died.
Hey, spoilers.
But it was pretty cool when he got that sock, though.
Oh, that's true. Oh, the sock. That make me tear up right now.
All right. Well, I'll try and get back to you, Brady, on fictional character in the Discord, maybe if I think something. All right. So the second one from Brady. Here we go.
Hey guys, it's Zonotopius again. I just wanted to say real quickly that your podcast helped me through a difficult time this week. I was getting anxious on something, I was having trouble sleeping, and I turned on Empire Radio, and it really helped me calm down, relax, and fall asleep. So thank you so much for that, guys. Your podcast is always so calming, and it can really help heal a lot of people just because it's so much fun, and it's a great way to tune out some of the crap in the world. So thank you so much, guys, and I really appreciate it.
All right.
No
Thanks, Brady, for
problem.
the kind words.
I'm glad
We're
we
here
can
for
put
ya.
people to sleep. No, I'm just kidding, dude. That's
Hopefully
awesome.
you finished the episode,
yeah,
then you
hopefully-
fell asleep.
Yeah, hopefully you went back to it later, but I'm glad that helps. Daddy Palps, first of all, shout out to Daddy Palps. He's in the chat right now. We always love seeing Daddy Palps. He said Street Sharks.
I don't remember if I played.
Okay, what about Arthur?
That's an aardvark. That's what his species
Yeah,
is.
but it's not in America. Like, it's not in the world.
Well, the original, like the first like season or first like whatever episodes, he had the long nose, but then they're like, we can't
It
emote
looks
his
ug-
mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
So like you couldn't see his mouth, so they just made him a potato head.
Also, did you see? I only thought about Arthur because Street Shark is like something from my childhood too. But Arthur, they just recently TBS just recently put a picture of Arthur grown up, and he looks way different. You should go check it out. It's funny.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah.
All right. Well, thanks, Brady, for the kind words. You're welcome. And we see you in the Discord too. So if you ever need anything,
Yes.
we're always here for you.
True. That goes to anyone.
Yeah. You can join the Discord, reach out to us. We're here for you.
Mhm.
What is it? We still have our fan email too. We could always promote.
Oh,
So
yeah.
is it EmpireRadioFans@gmail.com?
True.
If you don't want to join the Discord, you can just send us a direct email.
Jeremiah's
for the
really good
fan.
at checking emails too, so there's that.
Yep. All right. Jerica has a
Oh,
voicemail.
we're still going. All
We
right.
got Jerica and then one more, so we're almost done. So here's a question from Jerica.
Hey guys, it's Jerica. I was just wondering, what was your favorite place to visit as a child? Mine would be our lake cabin up in northern Wisconsin. I just love fishing and reading a nice book out on the docks, and it's very calming for me. I hope you all are well, and may the force be with you.
All right.
I really
you,
want a
Jerica.
lake cabin really bad. Like I always talk to my wife that I would rather buy instead of buying upgrading our house, staying in this one and buying a cabin instead next. But I don't think she's down for that, sadly.
Let's see. Well, Drew, what was your favorite childhood place to visit?
That is
Because the question wasn't necessarily like for vacation, was it? So like it could be like you love going to the ice cream store down the street from you or something like that. So like,
or you love getting tackled off of snow.
no.
My favorite place to visit or go to. Growing up in high school, at least, like I went to Louisiana a lot to visit my cousin, and I pretty much stayed there most summers throughout like late middle school, early high school, and, like even late high school. I would stay most summers in Louisiana and stuff. So probably that was probably like a highlight.
Goes with your grandma?
My grandma lives down there, but my cousin does too.
Okay.
And my cousin's like 7 years older than me. So like when I was in high school, she was like an adult. So I was like, she had a place, and me and my brother, or even some of my friends, would come down and we just hang out at her house and do things that we weren't allowed to do at home, like get tattoos and stuff. Yeah.
All right. For me, so my family did/does have a cabin 4 hours north of St. Paul. Now, I guess I did like going to the cabin when I was a kid.
I liked going to your cabin when I was a kid. I still remember those days.
Yeah. But not the going to the cabin, but when we were at the cabin, we would go to one of the towns, and there was two things there that we would always go there for. There was a restaurant that had amazing pizza, so we'd always go there for pizza. That was always a highlight. But then across the street from the pizza place was a candy store where they actually made homemade candy. There now, of course, they ordered stuff in too, but like they made their own like chocolate and fudge and all these different things, and you could just buy it by the pound, or they had like a million flavors of saltwater taffy and all kinds of things. So I would always get the little jawbreakers that are like the size of like blueberries. Get those. I'd get these big gummy sharks that are like 4 inches long. There's something else, and then I would always get a glob of chocolate fudge, they called it. So it was just like this really good. It was almost like frosting, like chocolate frosting, but it was a little bit more firm.
Your parents let you eat all that?
Well, I didn't like get like 10 pounds of it. I got like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and so the chocolate fudge was always really good. But I haven't been to the family cabin in years, so it's been probably
been to your family cabin in years.
It's probably been like 8-9 years since 7-8 years.
Don't you get invited to every year and you just?
I don't go.
Yeah,
it's like 4 hours away, and then I gotta like find a way up there and find a way back, and
I'll go with you.
No thanks.
We could do some Empire Radio content on the lake and burn the trash and all that fun stuff.
We did. There's no trash service up there.
I know. That's I literally I remember that. That is one thing I remember from your cabin is I had to help you burn trash one year.
So it wasn't. So it was like paper goods.
Yes,
and
true.
Burnable thing. It wasn't like all trash.
It wasn't.
So because we did have to take garbage bags home with us to throw out. But we had a big steel barrel, and we would just burn all the paper recyclable goods because there was no trash service or recycle service up there because it's in the middle of nowhere. So that was always fun.
Yeah, I remember doing that with you one time. It was fun.
All right. But then we always went to kids camp.
Oh, true. PK retreat. That was pretty cool, actually.
I only went there once. And I remember you and Jess were there, and then
is that the year that
then what was Josiah's older brother? Joshua was with us. That was in middle school. I think I was in 7th or 8th grade when we went to that.
I don't think I was there with you guys.
No, you were there because I remember what happened. Something happened. I don't know if you remember what happened. I'll talk to you afterwards.
No, I don't remember what happened.
Oh, you don't remember?
I don't.
And then
I might once you remind me.
And then I was afraid that you were gonna like tell your parents / my parents, and then whatever.
I don't.
You don't remember? Okay.
No, but if we had a Patreon, that would be something that they could go listen to. But we don't. So. Sorry.
All right. Well, thank you, Jerica, for the great question. All right, we got one more from Cody.
Hey, Empire Radio, Cody here. While I was staying at work today, I had this thought. If you could combine any utopian world with any dystopian world to make the dystopian world creepier, what would you do? For example, the world of Elden Ring with the world of Ewoks, or the world of Cthulhu with Lisa Frank. Thanks for the podcast, and everyone else, don't forget to join the Discord. Do it.
Do it. Thanks.
All right, so combining a utopian world society with a dystopian world society, that's hard to say. Like what perfect world and one crappy world, basically. What would be... I'm trying to think of like which ones... So like what would be considered utopian and what would be considered dystopian.
Yeah.
Because like,
so like, what if you did like Naboo? Because I feel like that's pretty perfect, right?
Well, no, I think when I think of utopia, I think of like the story is like the society is created to be a perfect world, but Naboo is just a nice place to live. So like,
I was gonna say Naboo, but then with The Last of Us, like a zombie version of Naboo.
That'd be cool,
right?
So like, I don't know. It's hard to like. Would
it's hard to
like,
figure
I'm
out
trying
what's
to think,
perfect.
Yeah, what would be like what storylines? But like, okay, I think of what movie or show or something supposedly has like a perfectly developed place.
Okay, so for instance, like Lord of the Rings, the Elven, where they live, like that's supposed to be like a magical, perfect place.
Maybe like okay, so the only like utopian thing that I can think of off the top of my head is like that book / movie The Giver.
I don't.
Okay, well, because that's like everything has been like scientifically perfected, so like they can like control everything, where it's like everything's like peaceful and everyone. Once you hit puberty, you take pills so you don't like develop that way. Like
interesting.
And then like everything's if you like.
But isn't that a really popular book series?
It's a kid's novel that's like, and then like they made a movie like 5-6 years ago. That was an adaptation. So like, I think of that as utopia, even though it's not. But I don't know. I don't know. It's a hard question, Cody. Perfect world. I don't know.
Dude, it's hard. I'm gonna go with my
zombie Naboo.
Yeah, zombie Naboo, or I feel like that's like Naboo is a perfect world, and like the way it was portrayed, I feel like it seems perfect.
Right.
Or so what's another perfect world you can combine it with, like Mandalore, because that's clearly not perfect. So any perfect world with Mandalore would be pretty intense.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of non-perfect worlds. I feel like that's more intriguing to a writer or a creator than a perfect world. Like Gotham is not a perfect world at all.
Right. That's supposed to be like dystopian, always problems, and that's why Batman's always dealing with issues because it's high crime and stuff. So like that could be like a dystopian, but then like what would be like a city that's like considered a perfect city?
Yeah.
Like, oh, here we go. I got mine.
Oh.
I got the city of Oz mixed with Gotham City. There's my.
That would be a good one. Yeah. That would be a good one.
That's my answer. All right. Is that your final answer then? Naboo
with zombie... Last of Us?
Yeah.
Or Kingdom, but only Andrew would get that reference.
But, you can choose whatever you want. It's not what I understand.
I like The Last of Us and Naboo. I feel like that would be really cool.
All right. Cool.
Zombie Jar Jar. Misa stepped in poop. No? Okay.
Misa, eat your brains. All right. That's the end of the voicemails. So we had a bunch tonight. A lot of fun. A lot of good questions.
Daddy Pop said Night Sister zombies. Oh, jeez. That'd be crazy.
We already have that.
That's right.
We have that in Rebels and in, what do you call it?
Oh, yeah. We had
Jedi Fallen Order.
Yeah.
So there we are. That's already a thing. All right. So that's all the questions for tonight, all the voicemails. So let's just go over social media, and then that's it. Yeah. So join us on Discord. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. And all you gotta do is just go to links.co/Empire Radio, links with 2 I's, and that is a landing page for everything. And if you're already following us on Instagram, we have that link in our bio as well. And you definitely want to be following us on Instagram for the baking collabs with Cinemakery. We got first one again, like we said already. First week drop today, and then next week, and then the week after that we have.
Are these dropping every Tuesday?
Yes, okay. Tuesday mornings. So,
sweet.
We got 2 more weeks. It'll be 3 weeks total. So that's they've been a lot of fun. So definitely keep your eye out for those. Drew, do you have any more vlogs coming up soon?
So this weekend was crazy. We had a family issue with my wife's grandma, so we weren't able to finish editing and post this live or like the vlog video. But that is pushed back till it'll come out this weekend. So Saturday, make sure you tune in to our YouTube on. I was gonna say youtube.com/ was it Empire Radio Pod?
Well, I don't think we have a.
Or no, we don't even have a.
So it's just Empire Radio, a Star Wars podcast on YouTube, but that's on the links CO page as well. So,
but yeah, go over there, subscribe, because we do a lot of cool stuff over there. We have been trying to, and do more than just. But we're posting. I mean, especially these upcoming weeks, we'll be posting 3 videos a week. So it's a lot of other content besides just the podcast going live. So you want to check that out.
Yeah,
and like Jeremiah said, our Instagram too. We always update on the Instagram. So
just even if you don't care about watching our YouTube videos, just go over there, follow us, and just give us that, because it'll help us out with the algorithms and stuff. And the more people we get coming to our YouTube channel, the more we'll get recognized. So
yes, and real quick, like I said, if you guys want to help us get to either ICC Con or Star Wars Celebration, just go spam those accounts for us and say let Empire Radio go and do a media pass. We would love to go to those places, but we need our fans to help push us a little bit. I feel like that would actually might get their attention. So just go spam them, harass them, but be nice with it.
Don't harass them.
I'm just kidding. But yeah. Tanner, ICC going. Yep.
All right. Anything else, Drew?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Cool. Well, you have been listening to another Wizard episode of Empire Radio. I'm Jeremiah.
I'm Drew.
And may the Force be with you.
Always.